So I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing here. I'm going to stand back behind the camera for a minute. But it almost looks like down here in the middle of the, let me give a hand over here. Down here in the middle where these two meet, it kind of sways in a bit. And that would almost make sense. It kind of comes in here, right? That would almost make sense to me because it's kind of where I drift off of the center beam. So, I mean, I know I'm clear on all the sonotubes here, so I'm going to kind of give it a jig over. And a jig over. Then I'm going to do the same thing here to try and get this a little more centered. I think we're a little closer to center over here. So what I'm trying to do is I want to get this joint between these pieces lined up like kind of in the middle right here. So let me push it back from the other side. Shoot, that just about did it, didn't it? And I can call that good. And then I need to do that all the way down. And I think you can see that I've got the same issue down here now because I did push that in. And I'm going to have to eyeball this from a distance. So I know I'm not where I need, excuse me, where I need to be here. Right? Let's see what I got going on at the end. A little better. There. And there. And I can nail these together to tighten those up. I have the same issue right down over there. I should do, I'm going to pull out and do the app real quick and see what my diagonal actually should be. We had 31 3¼ inches on the diagonal both ways. The way I find all these apps to calculate all this stuff is real simple. So my cell phone has a Google search bar at the top. I hit the microphone. Calculate the diagonal of a square. All right. And I scroll down, and right off the bat, the first link is a diagonal of a square calculator. So let's click on that one. And it's not a square, it's a rectangle, right? It's 24 by 20, but it doesn't matter. As long as it has both. Where are you at here? Come on. I'm looking for the calculator. And if it's not really easy to find right off the bat, I'll do another search term and I'll say diagonal calculator. Alright. This is on a site called learnframing.com, which I could probably use a lot of help from. Feet and inch diagonal calculator. So the width is 20 feet. The length is 24 feet. And my diagonal, according to this, should be 31 feet 2 inches. So my 31 feet 3¼ inches was pretty darn close. And I'm pretty happy with that. So I think if I get that 31 3¼ back again, I should be good to go. Oh, I'm sorry, 31 feet 2 14/16 inches. And I was 31 feet 3 1/4 or 4/16 inches. So I was off by 6/16. Not bad. 3/8. 3/8 of an inch off on the diagonal for the entire thing. That's how I find all these calculators. I just do a quick search on Google, find a calculator for something, and boom, I'm done. That's how I found the framing calculator that I showed you the pictures of. That's how I found a calculator to calculate how much lumber I need. I mean, everything. They're all out there, and they're all free, which is super, super awesome. And like I said, this one is on learnframing.com. So if you're interested in finding this stuff out, go ahead and check them out, or just do a quick Google search for yourself. So I'm going to measure this again, but if you can't tell right now, I'm pretty excited because I really thought this was going to be something that was going to beat me up for days to try and get done. And if it's not, that means we're laying, that means I got to go get my ring shank nails, and we are laying OSB subfloor on here tomorrow after work. That is awesome. So awesome. Try and get this all into the picture. And if you see a little fuzzy or the occasional hair above the screen, that's because I have what's called a microphone dead cat on top. Matter of fact, I could probably slip it off and show you what it looks like. Okay, that's what it looks like. And the whole theory behind this is when I have the real heavy winds, my regular microphone noise deadener won't work well. So I need this to cut out on those heavy winds. Maybe that fixed it. And I try and edit out, if you see that little fuzzy on the top, I usually try and edit that out when I'm editing the videos, but occasionally when it's really windy out, you'll still see the occasional curl of like hair come down. That's what that is, by the way. All right, so 31, we have 31.3 1/4. We know if it's anywhere near 31.3, we're probably right where we need to be. There's 31.2 1/4. Wait. Ah! All right, 31, 2 1/4, right there. We weren't supposed to have much rain today, so that's kind of why I'm not worried about the camera gear out here in the wet. Bugger. Thirty-one, 2 1/4 means I'm probably out of whack down on this end now. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm a little out of whack, so I'm 31 4 1/4. So I need to suck up that inch again. So I need to think, if I'm longer this way than I am that way, then I probably need to shove this that way. Yep. And then I could shove the other end over that way a little. Get 31 3 1/2. Over a little bit, apparently. Probably shouldn't have messed with it, huh? All right, we're back at 31 3 1/4, and I'm going to call that square. (31 3 1/4 by 31 3 1/4), and I have no idea how that worked so well. Like I said, unless it's just because these were all the exact same size and I gauged them off that center beam the way that I thought they should lay. But I'm extremely happy with that. I'm a little bit off center on this one, but I'm still on the beam. I mean, I guess I could nail it off and kind of, nail these all together because they're square now, and then kind of beat it with a hammer over a little bit so that I was right dead center on everything. And I'm still, let me get the camera spun over here so you can see. And I'm still to the point where skirting will be on the outside of these columns, these sonotubes, so that I don't have to worry about trying to skirt around them. And that was the reason why these were set in a bit, so that this could hang over, and then that way I would be able to put a skirt on here later on down the road. Very cool. I think I'm still dead center on that front of that beam. I zoomed this in to show you that I know I'm square right now, but I'm not in the middle of this beam again. I'm gonna whack that down. That's not gonna work. But if I nail these off and make it one unit and then beat it with a mallet, I can knock it back into the center here and the center there. And once this is all together nailed off, as one unit before I nail it down, it will remain square. That's the plan. And you gotta have a plan, right? That is the plan. So I'm pretty close here. I'm gonna take a couple of more measurements real quick. I have no idea what I'm doing. I know I say that quite a bit, but have never done this before, and that's why I'm really shocked. So 20 feet, boom, right there. I've never done this before, and that's why I'm really shocked that this has come together so easily. Unless I'm forgetting something and messing something up. Maybe it was you guys, huh? Maybe it was the chickens that helped me out here. I used chicken power. And now that silly YouTube video, Chicken Attack, is stuck in my head. Go look at that video and you'll die laughing. 24? I mean, I'm dead on. I am dead on. So I can nail this together. Here, all the way down, make this one piece, right? You know, it'll be, take this, consider this one piece and that one piece. I can nail it together, and that will make everything there tight, and then I can nail the centers here together, and that will just bring everything together super tight. I do have a little room I can play there. And then I could move it to where those doubles in the middle are running right down the middle of the beam. Nail it off and be good, because I'm only off by maybe 1/4 of an inch from where I want it to be on that beam. So that won't affect the ends. And when I first put this together and I talked about these beams that I was going to make 30 feet long and I'd have a little porch on here, I still have in the back maybe, well, I'll tell you exactly. Well, about 1.5 inches overhang back here. 1.5 inches to 2, so that one down on the end can go a little bit, but I'm not gonna adjust those beams at all. I think they're gonna be exactly where they're gonna be, and so I have room to play, and I can cut these off on the back. I may just actually leave them there, because like 1.5 inches hanging off the back is gonna do nothing but make it easier for me to put sheathing on on the walls on the back of the cabin. And then I cut it off when I'm done, and I skirt everything. But I have all the extra room in the front, and then I'll decide at that point, well, let's look. So I could make, this will be the exterior of the wall, all right? So I can make a front porch on this house that is 5 feet long. And that's plenty of room, right? You got a chair, you're sitting down, you got your feet up, you got a little rail right there. I mean, it's 6 feet to the end there. I don't know if I have 6 feet on all three. Now I'm 1 inch short here, which I knew I was in the back. I got that extra inch on the back. And I'm dead 6 feet here. So I could go 5.5, right? I can go 5'6". That'll put me right here. And this would be porch, and I am going to frame this in also, pretty much doing exactly the same thing that I did here, to bring it up so that you don't have to step up to get into the cabin, right? I want it all the same level. The stairs will come up to here, and then basically you can open the door and walk right in the cabin. You'll still step up just a bit, because obviously, well, you might not even then. The cabin floor, I'll have 3/4 inch OSB on here, and then eventually I'll actually have a real floor in there as well, which would mean there'd be a little bit of a step up. Nice, I'm excited. That's awesome. That worked out perfect. Pop some knee pads on too before I start doing this. Alright, let's see what we can do here. My plan is to nail 3 in this way, then get all the way down to the end, turn around and come back and nail 3 in the other way. Would have been money if there was more than a couple of you out there waiting for me to trip over these. All right, let's nail off the other side. Get the one side nailed off already. So if you remember back when I built these beams, it was like the first time I actually used this hammer, and I haven't been using it that much compared to what I'm going to be using it as, but there's a heck of a difference now between how I used it then and how I am using it now. And the loud bang is when I miss and hit the wood. In all of these nails here I lost 1, and that was because, again, Sean was going into a knot. I know better than that. I don't know why I try to do that. I don't know why I think I'm stronger. Also, I had a comment on the way I hold the hammer, and that when I hold it up here, you know, if I'm choking up on it that much, that the hammer's too big for me. And my response was, and still is, the hammer's the perfect size for me. I just have to learn how to use it. And I'm learning. Slowly but surely I'm learning. I mean, it's muscle memory. It's like doing anything else over and over again, right? You're learning to cast a fishing rod. In the beginning, it's a mess. But after about 100, 200, 300 casts, all of a sudden the rhythm's there. And that's kind of where I'm getting now, which is awesome because there's a lot of nail work coming up. A lot of nail work. Come on. And it's awesome to be on top of this, working on top of this. It is so cool. So cool. All right, so these are nailed. They're nailed high on this side going in, and they're nailed low on that side going in. I'm after a little bit extra support. I don't know if that makes any difference because, again, I'm not a carpenter. I don't know the theory behind it, but it just seemed like it would work. Oh. And I'm pretty satisfied with how that came out. I took a couple of measurements when the camera was off to make sure that I was still in line, and I'm still at that 31.3 and a quarter, 31.3 and an eighth. And if I'm off by an eighth of an inch from one end to the other, I got to think that it's probably a 16th on each side. If I am, I'm totally satisfied with that. That is not a problem with me at all. So I've nailed both of the main ones together. I'm going to go ahead and nail the center ones together, and then all of the pieces will be secured hardcore. So right now, I'd need a crane to lift this thing up. Very cool.